3, 2, 1.
Please stand by for further details. We return you now to your regularly scheduled program.
Hello to those of you who are feeling called to this reading in particular, mystery reading number 1023. My name is Elizabeth, and before getting into this reading, if you are a reoccurring viewer, you're enjoying my work, and you would like to help support it, you can do so by sticking around and hitting that subscribe button down below and ringing the notification bell next to it if you feel called to. And if you do feel called to subscribe and stick around, welcome, and thank you very much for your support, as well as your presence during this reading. One second. So, I saw the number 333. And I just saw the number 111 on the timer, but I saw the number 333 before I started recording this reading. And the number 3 for me is about self-expression, communicating, healing, growing, making a commitment. First and foremost to yourself, but it could also be about anyone or anything else outside of yourself. And I really feel like there's a lot of focus here on self-expression and communicating, being honest about how you feel in a way that feels safe and effective at the same time. And the reason why I feel like there's a lot of focus here on the self-expression interpretation of the number 3 for me is because I also had to clear my throat really bad, and that reminds me of clearing your throat chakra. So I really feel that whoever is watching this reading, you are being encouraged or urged really to express yourself. Whether it's directly to a person that you're having a conflict with, or just to yourself with like journaling or some form of self-expression. I feel like it's really important to express yourself. And I'm also wanting to talk about triangulation, which is something that I have recently been reflecting on how I feel about. If you don't know what that is, it's where you bring a third party into a conflict between two parties. Maybe because you're seeking support or validation. Sometimes it can be helpful to express how you're feeling about the situation, and sometimes it can be damaging and bring unnecessary tension or opinions, or maybe even unhelpful opinions or advice. Now, whether you feel called to express yourself to somebody else, maybe about some sort of conflict you're going through, that is totally up to you. Because for me personally, I'm still trying to, reflect on what's actual triangulation and what is seeking support. So you do what you feel called to do in terms of expressing yourself to somebody. Now, if it's like a therapist or some sort of professional like that, might be a little bit different. But yeah, you do what you feel called to do. And having seen the number 111, that number is about trusting yourself. So that's actually fitting when that came in. If you feel called to express yourself to other people about some sort of conflict, that is up to you and what you feel called to do. And it doesn't have to be related to that either. It could be just a general message to trust yourself. It could even be relating to healing or growing or committing to something or someone. It could even be yourself. But getting into interpreting the number 1023 now. Like I already said, the number 1 is about trusting yourself. I'm actually noticing the 111 and the 333, we have 1, 0, 2, 3. So I feel like however you feel called to express yourself or to communicate, trust yourself. However you feel called to grow and heal, or whatever kind of commitments you feel called to make, trust yourself. The number 0 is about, actually, I perceive it as cycles. It could be patterns that you might be noticing within yourself or in your environment, in your relationships, that may need to be addressed, that are unhealthy or destructive. Or it could be the opposite. They could be healthy and constructive, You get to decide how difficult the next cycle of healing will be. I feel called to say that for somebody. You really, really are in control of your own mindset. I think it's very, very important for people to recognize this and to not feel, I guess, to put it as best I can, to not feel like a victim to their own thoughts and feelings, or a slave to their own thoughts and feelings. If you are dealing with heavy thoughts and heavy feelings, just know that you don't have to feel this way, and it's only temporary if you allow for it to be. You deserve to heal and to have a mindset that frees you, not makes you feel trapped and chained down or stuck. As I say, whenever I talk about feeling stuck, it always reminds me of a card that I have that says, "You're not stuck, you're still." This is an opportunity for you to pause and reflect. And I just saw the number 654 on the timer, which is a sign about trusting that everything happens for a reason. You are being given the opportunity to slow down and pause and reflect for a reason. I feel like your intuition or your inner voice is trying to tell you something, show you something, guide you somewhere, or even your spirit guides could be trying to communicate with you with your own intuition, your own inner ear. Kind of getting like this feeling of whispering, like secrets. Like maybe there's some secrets, maybe some cosmic or divine secrets that the universe, your spirit guides, whatever higher power you believe in, wants you to know. Especially when it comes to your own power, your own potential, and what is possible for you, not only in terms of your own future, but how you could have a positive impact on the future of other people around you, and just in the collective. The other way that I interpret the number 0 is, this is a new interpretation, as I've been mentioning lately. It's a reminder that there is always that journey with yourself that is always there. No matter what journeys run parallel to this journey, like relationships or projects or anything, there's always that relationship with yourself, always going. And it's important to be present during that journey, be reflective and aware of your own mind, feelings, beliefs, and how they affect your decisions and ultimately your reality. Maybe this is the reason why it's important for you to slow down and reflect for a second, maybe longer than a second. But yeah, I think that your spirit guides want you to be more aware of the way that you think, how you feel, and what you believe, for better or for worse, but also the outcomes in your life. You really, truly do have more control than your fear wants you to believe, than your pain wants you to believe. The last number that I'm going to talk about, the number 2, it's about a lot of things. It can be confirmation of a significant situation or relationship on your mind at this time. It can be about inner peace, inner balance. I feel like that one is definitely relevant here. And it can also be about your decisions and prioritizing what means the most to you. And I think that's why you're being called to reflect and and be more aware of what's going on within you, mentally and emotionally, and even spiritually, so that you can have more control over your decisions and the ability to prioritize what means the most to you, so you can attract that. Relationships that mean the most to you, a job that means a lot to you, everything that means the most to you. I'm thinking again about inner peace and inner balance. These kind of go hand in hand, it feels, for this reading. Like, reflecting is both about finding peace and gaining more control over your decisions. When you have more peace, you have more self-control, and ultimately you have more control in life. You know? That's what I believe, anyway. My palm is starting to itch right now, which I grew up hearing the superstition that if your palm starts to itch, you're going to get money soon. So only take that if it resonates, if it's something that you're already aware of. That could just be confirmation. But adding up these numbers, 1 plus 0 is 1, plus 2 is 3, plus 3 is 6. And the number 6 is a choice between self-love and self-destruction. The answer to gaining more control of your choices overall, and ultimately your reality, is in first gaining control over the choice to choose self-love over self-destruction. Loving yourself is going to attract love in your life, because you are the one who sets the standards for what you're willing to accept, what you're willing to let into your life. And if you know how to love yourself, I mean, it's gonna be easy to see what people and situations are more about hate and destruction and chaos than love and peace. And I want to say prosperity. I am thinking about a rune that I pulled in a recent reading. So if you remember that, maybe this reading, that could be confirmation that this reading is meant for you. If you saw that previous one with that rune. I'm going to move into the cards, starting with one oracle card from the Ancestor Spirit Oracle, because I felt pretty drawn to this deck, and that tells me that your ancestors in particular have something to say or to offer when it comes to expressing yourself authentically, trusting yourself, and gaining more control over, well, yourself and ultimately your reality. I feel that they are really, really encouraging you to commit to the journey with yourself in a way that is about self-love. I feel a lot of us are being called to do that, because we do live in a world that encourages you to hate yourself, to be destructive, and to not believe in your own power, in your own potential. The only person who defines that is you, because you make your own decisions and define your own path in life, not some oppressive system that seems impenetrable. Who knows? Maybe you could be the one who changes the system. You really never know. But the oracle card that I have is, wow. It says, go after your goals, persist, encourage, and advance. I think it's interesting because you might hear in the background like medieval type of music or something. This feels like environmentally aligned for me. And I just saw the number 432, which is a sign about trusting that everything happens for a reason. Maybe you do feel called to be a type of warrior or fighter in some way. Let me look closer at this. Maybe there are other people that could stand along with you in some sort of fight. This is reminding me about what I was talking about with triangulation. What are you looking for when you share your frustrations, your struggles, especially with other people, with people that, that care about you? What is your goal? Validation, support, allies? Do you need someone to choose sides? Or do you feel that way, I do want to read from the guidebook for this, so let me open it up to the right page. Okay. It says, born in 1274, Robert the Bruce claimed the Scottish throne and led an uprising against English rule. I guess it's not the first time that people have had problems with English rulership. I don't think that's a word, but it says, thus he is known as the father of Scottish independence. Robert the Bruce suffered many defeats on the way to establishing his authority, and bided his time before moving forward to become King of Scotland. Is King of Solomon a thing? He was defeated twice in battle by the English before he went into hiding on a remote island off the coast of Ireland. It is said that he often became depressed during his time on the island. Then one day he saw a spider in his room. Spiders for me are usually about dreams, because of how they build and weave things together. Maybe you do feel like you're being called to build that as part of going after your goals. I saw number 654. Trust that everything happens for a reason, for sure. Robert the Bruce sat and watched the spider swing from rafter to rafter, trying to make its web. It wasn't until its seventh attempt that the spider succeeded in making an anchor for its web. Robert the Bruce saw the spider as a sign that he must keep persevering for Scotland's independence. He then moved forward with his cause and was successful. Maybe there is something in your environment. I think it's interesting because I was talking about, this card feels environmentally significant because someone watching something in the next room that sounds like medieval fighting and stuff like that. And then it talks about this person in this card seeing something in their environment, teaching them something, showing them something. So maybe there is something in your environment that could encourage you to persist and advance forward. Whatever may make it harder for you to stay committed, I think that's really important to reflect on, and how to remove that blockage or work with that challenge, Ancestors Speak says, take charge and move forward in your life. The universe is encouraging you to pursue something that is important to you. I did do a reading recently, too, about pursuing something that, just trusting yourself and making your life about what's important to you. It doesn't matter how big or small it is, go after it. You have been consciously working on yourself and are now ready to take on anything you want to achieve. Do not hesitate. Take this card as a sign that you can do more and be more. Like I said, you could be the one to change the system. Listen, I think it's important for all of us to make that commitment to self-love, but how big of a difference we want to make with that journey in other people's lives, that's totally up to us. You could just be a role model for your kids, or just be a good example for some friends, or you could be a leader for a movement. It's really up to you. Stand up for your beliefs, stand your ground, and do not be swayed by opposing ideologies. Of course, it's important to stay open to other perspectives and ideas, but always stand firm in what you believe. The last section, the divinatory meaning. Just as the universe endeavors to raise your spirits, it is time for you to encourage and inspire others. A little positivity goes a long way. Try to support your loved ones, friends, or anyone you come in contact with. You may not realize how much it means to a person to have someone believe in them. that kind of got me a little bit. A kind word can keep someone going through hard times so they can reach their goals. The part where it says a kind word can keep someone going through hard times so they can reach their goals, I kind of feel like maybe that's what this reading is kind of like for you, or that's my hope anyway, that it does feel like a light in the dark to help you keep going so you can reach your goals. And I do want you to know, of course, I do believe in you, but I do say sometimes, if you don't believe in yourself, how much is it really going to matter that other people believe in you? I mean, it's good, and it's validating, and it's nice, but the point I'm trying to make is, you got to believe in yourself, too. I'm going to move into the tarot cards with the Nightmare Before Christmas Tarot. I'm just going to draw out a couple of these to accompany this Ancestor Spirit Oracle cards to get a little more context about what this is about. Okay, so I have the Chariot in reverse. Setbacks, lack of willpower, to focus on the details, remember main motive for goals. Oh my gosh, I was just about to say, somebody here has goals, and you're really being encouraged to stay focused on them, and as soon as I wanted to say that, I saw the number 111, because I'm recording the third segment for this video, because I have to record like 10 minutes at a time, because this phone sucks. But, yeah, someone has goals here, and it's clear, especially from your ancestors, that spiritually you are supported in these goals. The 7 on the Chariot is about finding deeper meaning, gaining more wisdom, and expanding your awareness and your consciousness. That's what I believe love, self-love gives you. It gives you wisdom and awareness, and it makes you more conscious in a way that is empowering and fulfilling. The Chariot card itself, when it's in reverse, it gives this feeling, it perfectly reflects what I was talking about earlier, about feeling like a slave to your own thoughts and feelings. The Chariot for me in reverse is always, at the very core of it, about your mind being in control, your fears being in control instead of you, and your soul and your true desires. So maybe the goal that you're trying to achieve right now is being free from fear-driven decision-making. I just saw the number 234 on the timer. Lots and lots and lots and lots of signs about trusting that everything happens for a reason. This reading feels very guided. So if you made it this far into this reading, this is resonating for you, this reading is meant for you. It is meant for you. Your goals matter, your potential matters. Whatever kind of difference you feel called to make in your own life or in those around you, that matters. And I just get the strong feeling that spiritually, spirit guides do not want you to give up. And instead of focusing on the details, keep in mind more the bigger picture and what all of these little battles are for. What war are you trying to win? And I did see the number 321. That's insane. Oh my gosh, I love this. So the next card is the 7 of Wands. With another 7, there really is a lot here for you to learn, to become aware of, or maybe there's something significant here that you're learning and becoming aware of, and you might be onto something, and that's why your spirit guides don't want you to give up. Feels like maybe you're being led somewhere, like I'm getting this feeling of like a trail. This card says, hold your ground. Is when I read for this card, it already said that. Competition, truthful with self. Okay, I did forget to mention about self-expression and communicating and being honest. It's also about being honest with yourself. The 7 of Wands is all about standing up for yourself. Maybe there's something here that makes you nervous, that makes it hard for you to stand up for yourself. It could even just be, being afraid to have faith and to trust. I am noticing, actually, the guy in this picture, he's looking straight at the 7 of Wands. His eyes are not only on the prize, but are on holding his ground, standing firm in what he believes in. And I just feel that that is so true for you too, and you can even relate with this. I mean, that's kind of the point of a reading. But yeah, it's very clear with these cards that it's important for you to recognize that you are in control of your own mind, your own thoughts, perspectives, feelings, and beliefs, and ultimately your own decisions that are affected by those thoughts and feelings and beliefs. So this is also encouragement for you to, be very mindful of the way that you're thinking and how you speak to yourself, because it really does have a powerful, very powerful impact. And it, like a double-edged sword, it can be for better or for worse. It is totally up to you.